don't want to do a show because I don't feel like doing a show. I just don't do the fucking show. Yeah.
That's it. And honestly, like, that's why not everybody necessarily gets to the point where they're telling their stories on stage, right? There are, which actually this is something pretty cool I just learned. So I worked with Guy Torry recently.
Okay.
And if you guys don't know who Guy Torry is, he is fucking awesome. Legend. He's like OG King of Comedy, was the opener on the tour with the Kings of Comedy.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, he's insane. And then his documentary, which I feel is one of those that like just not everybody needs to see.
I gotta watch it.
If you're a comic, it's like do your homework, watch this
Guy Torry?
This documentary. It's called Fat Tuesday with a PH.
Oof, I will do
Fat
that.
with a PH, and it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay,
All right,
doing
so
it.
3-part series, fucking awesome. So I asked him when I worked with him, I'm like, all right, I have to pick your brain. Like, I got to take advantage that I am the Kings of Comedy. Like, Bernie Mac is my all-time favorite, right?
Oh, I love Bernie Mac.
He's
yes.
the OG.
Okay.
So I'm like, I know you had a lot of takeaways. I'm sure that experience was like bananas, but what would you say is like what stands out the most?
Mm-hmm.
And he shared learning the difference between a comic and a comedian.
Did you tell me this before?
I shared it with a few people.
I think you shared this with me.
I have not heard this.
Do you remember what it was? Let's see if you remember it, though.
I never know the difference.
I can't remember, but it had something to do with, it was like, 'cause one of them tells jokes.
So it's right in line with what we're saying. So a comic will say funny things.
Yeah, this is
a
what
comedian
it was. will make things funny.
That's I love that.
Right.
I love that.
So like you can let's use Jerry Seinfeld as an example.
Oh, okay.
When and he's a fucking undeniably
monster,
right? Killer, goat,
I hated Seinfeld. Watched his stand up. I was like, I love Jerry.
His stand up is
Epic.
bananas.
Epic.
He's a comic. When Jerry gets off stage, you don't know shit about Jerry. But does that make he's a comic? But then there are comedians, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I'm learning the difference, who you know who they are up there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with choosing to be one versus the other.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting. I think I might. I don't know which one I am.
I feel like I'm a comedian.
I feel like I'm a comic.
I feel like I'm a comedian because in normal day-to-day life, I'm funny. I'm somebody who brings joy to people.
I can be funny, but I think most of the time I'm not.
But when you're on stage, right? So when you're
on stage, I'm a whole different. People tell me, Val, why don't you bring who you are here on stage? People tell me that.
So you're a comic.
No. People want me to bring who I am in person on stage because on stage I'm a whole different person. It feels because I guess I'm still looking for me.
I don't know what I am actually.
You know?
I think maybe I haven't figured it out yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like in general, we're comedians, right? Because you're just constantly goofing around, being funny, in your own life. But in terms of a comic versus a comedian on stage, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, are you crafting jokes with the intention of being funny? That has, let me pick this random premise and just write jokes. Like Jerry is an observational comic.
Yeah.
He's just taking random topics and making them funny. Versus someone who is up there telling their story and then bringing comedic light to it and making their traumatic experience.
I'm definitely a comic.
Funny.
I'm definitely a comic. I'm not.
I think I'm a little both because I talk about being adopted. I talk about my experiences. Most of my jokes come from my real life experiences that I have. I like to be more like a comic and write out jokes. I have grammar stuff and have double entendres and stuff like this. But I've never really been good at like grammar writing. I don't even. I make up my own words all the time. I call them Valerianism. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to develop more before I actually can say that.